cotton candy blonde mullet hair transformation. Let's get into it. But if you see, come on in here, get a little close. This is looking really good. It's perfect. So we're gonna get it to that nice blonde. She had about 2 inches of regrowth. I'll pop it into the screen. And then I don't even know what we're gonna do. This is one of those ones, once I see Philip's cut, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna roll with it. Definitely some ribbons, some definite like color blocking. We wanna keep some of the blonde and just do something really unique and interesting. I'll call it custom just for you, Stephanie. Nobody else is gonna have this color but you. All right, let's get into the video. That was a little chat between my client Stephanie, aka Space Gunk, on social media channels. This was her hair before and she was not feeling it. She came in, she's like, you know what? I want to do something edgy. I want to do like a cotton candy inspired hair color. I want to get rid of these roots and I want to do a mullet. So I started everything out with the K18 Molecular Repair Hair Mist. Welcome to my YouTube channel, by the way. I would sure love it if you'd subscribe and let me know in the comments what you want to see on here. That's the brand new Tangle teaser for gentle and fragile hair. I'm obsessed with it for all the hair shapes and different kinds of unique hair transformations I do on compromised hair. That brush is a game changer. I had to get into the lightening. I actually mixed 2 different lighteners from Oligo Pro. They're extra blonde and they're cool blonde. That's a 9-level lift extra blonde and 8-level lift cool blonde that has a blue base and it cuts out some warmth. So if you see when I do my bleach retouches, I did 20 volume with this and those roots were pretty dark. I leave about 1/4 of an inch out at the line of demarcation and at the base. Now, one thing I love about Oligo's Blacklight line is it doesn't expand like other lighteners, but I still do this, and once I get it to a nice level 8, 9, 10, whatever it is that I need to achieve for my desired end color, I'll still leave that out, and then once it gets to that level, I'll come in and apply the lightener to the base. Obviously, the scalp is a heat conductor, and it's going to lift much faster than that midsection on a retouch, and it's also going to just avoid damage and breakage. Another little trick that you see I did there, I put the K18 mist, and I sprayed about 10 sprays per quadrant on the ends after I applied my sectioning. And then if you see, I start in the front with my bleach retouches in most cases, and then I'll up my developer. I added 30, made it a 25 when I did the back 2 quadrants. If you can see, it lifted so nicely, and then I came in and applied my lightener to that tiny little 1/4 inch line of demarcation, and I put some foil on top as a heat conductor. I also do that in the back of the head, and if you see, I put plastic over the top once I got it to my desired level of lightness. And then in the back, it needed to catch up a little bit. So I just put 1 foil in the back and it came up perfectly. If you can see, I'm applying my lightener there. That's 25 volume. Like I said, I just did a little bit of 30 and with my 20 from before. That also kind of gives it a little extra kick. I'm pretty fast, but when you lighten, the lightener will, when it hits air, start to weaken. So sometimes it's good to just add a little more. That was my Tangle teaser for fragile compromised hair again. That was going to be perfect. I toned with Oligo's Color Align. This gloss is like the best parts of an alkaline meets the best parts of an acidic. I did their VG. I did a 9N shadow root and I did their violet gold level 10 for the ends. Because of the colors we were going to do for the cotton candy, I didn't want it to be too ashy. I didn't mind if it had a little bit of gold and warmth through it. And you'll see what I mean once we get to the end. Make sure that you watch to the end. Wolff came in. We worked together so beautifully. I wanted to see his cut, his mullet, before I did my placement to create the cotton candy look with the fashion colors by the Funk You line of Oligo. Whoa, he cut off a lot of length there. That is the reason why I wanted to see what this mullet was going to look like before I came in and put some colors in that he may cut off. Sometimes I'll color first and have him cut after. It really depends on what we're doing. But for this creation, you can see it right here. He was really coming in and creating a shape and taking a lot of length out of Steph's hair. And we obviously wanted to see that first, and then I could come in and do my placement for the fashion colors because I wanted to keep some of her blonde. That's what we talked about. And I didn't want it to be a complete fashion color pastel shade. I wanted it to be blonde with pops and sort of peekaboos of that color in the bang and in the back. So I really wanted to kind of showcase Philip's haircut. I always find the best marriage between haircut and color is when you work together, especially if there's 2 of you, and really create art together when you're doing something like this and kind of work in tandem with each other to create the best possible look for your guest. You can see all the texture and the layering here. I wanted him to blow dry it for me so I could really see how it lays, and he was going to do some cutting at the end. That's Oligo's Funky-Line. So I wanted to incorporate pink, purple, and blue for this. You know, that was the colors that we chose. And I feel like in today's world, those were great colors to choose with everything that's going on in the world to sort of make a statement. And I thought it would look really beautiful on Space Gunk's hair. So if you can see, I did ribbons like we talked about in the beginning of the video of my blues, my violet, my lilac, my pink, really thick ribbons. And if you noticed, I'm using saran wrap. I just used Glad wrap. You can see it in the back there. I got it at Costco. Just to separate and make sure that every single color that I placed was going to stay where it needed to. And I didn't want any transfer or bleeding. Obviously, saturation is so key with things like this. I want it to be heavily saturated. And the hair really does change once it hits bleached hair like this when you're using a semi-permanent hair color. I still let it process for like 45 minutes to an hour. I also wipe my hands with a towel after every single ribbon to make sure that none of the pink gets on the blue or the blue gets on the pink, vice versa, any of those, so that everything's super clean, super meticulous. You can see me working there, just taking each section and really working to saturate that hair as much as possible, going over it 3-4 times, working it in with my fingers, melting it on the hair because I really wanted the color to last and be vibrant. Some hot tips: you're going to want to rinse this with ice cold water, and the less your client washes their hair and the better they follow the care instructions that I'll talk about later, obviously the better it's going to be. I send all my clients home with K18. I find that their Damage Shield shampoo and conditioner is great for fashion color with letting it last. And of course, their molecular repair hair mask that I use during the treatment as part of the repair service, I love them to take that home. There's another layer of cling wrap through the hair. And if you notice, I kind of did a split personality in ways with Peekaboo, doing a heavier side on the left side if you're facing the client's hair to the nape, and then a bit heavier. If you see right there, I'm putting some pink in that beautiful fringe and the face framing that Philip did. And then I'm coming in here in the bang area and putting some blues and purples and pinks, kind of in like a split personality, heavier on the left facing the client to the right, and then some peekaboos underneath in the bang. And then if you notice, I left it blonde on top. So you can kind of see my placement here going through. And then I wanted to do callosum. Steph's had some hair loss, and callosum is great to wake sleeping hair follicles. Their advanced hair system, that's their PTT6 right there. It's a 6-week treatment. I usually do 2 sets, so 12 weeks in total. And it really wakes up sleeping hair follicles, makes the hair, it's great for hair loss, for COVID hair loss, all of those things. And it makes the hair thicker, fuller, also helps the hair grow faster, I feel. That's the Babyliss Pro, their new gray color and their nano titanium blow dryer. And I'm obsessed with Babyliss's tools. I find that they're perfect for color. The way that they're made, the technology, it's really great to preserve hair color. We all know hot tools can affect colors, especially fashion colors, rainbow hair like this. And I find that their tools are really the best on the market for this. So you can see how gorgeous and vibrant these colors are. You're going to see right here when Philip comes down and blow dries this piece right here, and he is going to come in and texturize a little bit more and cut into it, but we had our base there and our placement. You can see he's coming in now and cutting into the color, but now he can see my placement, just like I saw his placement when I did my color, a little bit on her nose there, always happens, right? And then he was able to come in and really complement my color and give a great shaping to the peekaboos that I did to really make them stand out even more. And that's what I was talking about, collaboration, or even if you're doing the cut and color yourself, just really mapping out your placement with the haircut and color is going to make all the difference for the end results. You can see that he's coming in there and doing some point cutting and texturizing to add, and look at that color as he opens it up. You can just see all the beautiful hues of color, and she was starting to get really, really excited. Now, I wanted you to see the color straight, because a lot of people say, oh, when you curl it, you're hiding mistakes. We wanted to curl it just to add texture and volume to it, but this is what the color looks like before we came in and added our curls with that 1 1/4 inch barrel curling iron from Babyliss. She was loving it. She was so happy. So we came in here, and we used that one right there, more the Marcel style. let it cool for about 10 minutes, and then came in with cold air and broke apart the curls. You can see a close-up of it here. There's the top. We are so obsessed. I would call this cotton candy hair color, right? Like a cotton candy mullet. That's something called Puff Me by Design Me. Check out all the volume and texture. That combined with that Calisum AHS hair system is just going to make all the difference for the scalp and just to add that volume and texture. Obviously, K18 made the hair so healthy. This is all oligo color. I've just been obsessed with their colors lately. Philip came and put those final touches for our end shots. I love the way he came in with the corner of his comb and just sort of pieced out the shape in those bangs and just went hair by hair just to really show everything off. These are 2 end results of Steph Space Gunk's hair. She was so thrilled. We were so happy with this color. What do you guys think? Did we eat? I'm really obsessed with this. At the end, I used K18's new Astro Lift. That gives volume for 3 days, and you can do it wet or dry. I did it both here. It really just adds so much, and it's weightless. It doesn't get sticky or gunky like a lot of volume products on the market. It's just weightless volume, and I'm obsessed with it. Came through one more time and broke everything apart. What do you guys think? If you love my content, I would really appreciate it if you would follow me here on my YouTube channel. I've been having so much fun creating content for you guys. There's one more shot of the end results. Let me know what you want to see on here, and thanks again for watching.